Honey, someone's going to the house. Someone's going to the house. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Who are you call the pops? I'm gonna call the pops.
We're recording you.
No. It's okay. I'm just your neighbor. Coming by to say howdy.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, we're not used to people stopping by to say howdy without assaulting us first, robbing us, or defecating on our lawn.
Sometimes all three.
The trifecta. We're from Los Angeles.
Just moved to Texas.
I figured.
Oh, the California plates?
Well, yeah, and the masks. Inside your own house. No one else around. 2022.
We just want to be extra safe.
We feel naked without masks.
We'll probably wear them for the rest of our lives.
We'll be buried in them.
Okay. Well, you seem like a lovely couple. Like I said, I just wanted to drop by and welcome you to the neighborhood.
Why? Do you want something?
Oh, no. I think he's being friendly. People around here are friendly, like we've seen in the movies, right?
I thought that was just make-believe, like superheroes or families that go to church.
No, that's a myth. This is real life.
So, I live in that house over yonder. Name's Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. I'm Tiffany. She, her.
And I'm Steve, he, him.
What are your pronouns?
I don't believe in pronouns. I think they're reductive. In fact, just your asking about it is a microaggression.
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay. I'm just messing with you. I like all pronouns. My favorite is you.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Exactly. So, if you need anything, just holler. My wife and I'd be happy to help.
Baby, he has a gun.
I'm calling the cops.
I'm recording you.
No.
Recording
It's
you.
okay.
Political correctness is a manifestation of lack of fucking self-esteem because you're all cunts. Because you cunts all want everybody to love you. I don't want anybody to love me. I don't want anybody to even fucking like me. Do you think Donald Trump gives a shit what you think of him? Do you think Steve Jobs, when he was alive, gave a shit? Do you think Mark Zuckerberg gives a shit? Political correctness is a manifestation of lack of fucking self-esteem because you're all cunts.
All right, has anyone noticed this trend among some of our government experts lately? It starts off with them telling you a thing. If you question the thing, you will be mocked, ridiculed, and potentially censored. It then turns out later that the thing that they told you wasn't quite as true as they promised you it would be. And when you point this out, they revert to telling you that, well, they never told you the thing that they told you. And then when you show them incontrovertible proof that they did in fact tell you the thing that they told you, they just suggest that you should be mocked, ridiculed, and potentially censored. I can't imagine why we don't trust these guys.
When are you guys going to delete the White House Twitter account?
Why would we do that?
Well, you're saying that you're keeping an eye on Twitter because it might not be a suitable platform, so why use it?
Look, I want to be very clear here. The president has... Thanks, everybody.
I don't know if you guys, I've been talking away. I don't know if you guys heard any of it. How y'all doing tonight? Hey, everybody. No, it's something that was just put on there. It's for comedy. We have no proof that she's full of shit. Thanks. Sorry about that. Hey, Shift. Hey, Echo. Hey, Patrick. Hey, Bonnie. Hey, Eric. Hey, Blackwatch. And Sassy. Let's see. Hey, Stans. Hey, Joyful. I think that's about it. Let's see. Hey, Frank. Got a link out if anybody wants to look. I was looking at stuff, thought about running, and I was like, yeah, I'll get a smack on this real quick if I did that. How's everybody Saturday? Yeah, I'm still congested and it's all nose and running down the back of my throat, gets me coughing. I just doctored up here a little while ago with 4 or 5 things. The zinc and the quercetin and D3 and vitamin C and I ain't feeling bad. I went to the store. Just it gets when it starts rattling and then back in my throat like you need to blow it, nothing will come out. It either gets stopped up or it just either try to blow it out or cough it out like it lays flat. He went and did another thing today, a treatment, and I'm worried about him and keep telling him things he can do to help along with it. I need to get him to try it. I tried the baking soda yesterday myself just to see how it acts when you take it. But from what I'm seeing, baking soda is a good main thing. Baking soda, vinegar with a mother in it. Quercetin's another good thing. Yeah, I think a lot of people say it's, I don't know if it's actually that or what it is, but we can imagine all flus and colds or some forms of that C anyway. They want to make a big name out of something that like it's brand new and it might be the virgin, but it's like calling Bermuda grass or Bahia or whatever. It's still grass. Yeah, we've cut down a lot of one of the main things didn't know, pay attention to is he got kind of stomach screwed up the other day, and it's because something with cheese on it. I didn't realize cheese was such a no-no, but I need to get the stuff lined up that they have out there, and it's like I got berries here, a lot of dark purple and blue stuff, grapes, blueberries, blackberries, all that's good for that. All right. Yeah, I don't know if it's like that down there, Bonnie, but Brookshire's here's got the 3-pound rolls of 80/20, which I don't like buying rolls, but it's on sale, 3-pound roll for $8.99 or something like that. It's like $5 off, they call it. but it's rolled hamburger. You don't know what you're getting, but you never did know what you're getting before. So, yeah, and it's good for congestion, breaks it up. Plus, it's loaded with vitamin C. It's got like 10 times more vitamin C in it than orange juice. Hey, meat puppet. Yeah, it's cold here now. It's been 70 for the past 2 days. I don't know what it is out there now. Let me look. $57, feels like 58. Yeah, I feel like a crybaby saying it's cold, but yep. Yeah, I need to look into that for him or see what I could find online too. Yeah, wear shorts outside. Past couple days it was 70. The hell, this morning when we got back from dropping him off at it's around 6 o'clock, we were back here. Fog rolled in. It looked like a horror movie graveyard scene. It was so foggy, it just looked like a big cemetery everywhere. Yeah, we got that here. I haven't gave him any of it lately. Got the link out there for anybody who wants to come up. It's not for anybody in general. Makes BSing a little easier. I know I should have put this out there where it ran all day where people know I was going to start one, but it came at the spur of the moment out of boredom. She said her fever broke, told me earlier, all for his kingdom. Said she's better, but as bad as you get the feeling, better is kind of a relative term, but let's see. Hell, Eric, you ain't been up in a while. Jump up here for a bit. I've been told by a lot of people that don't want to come on my shows anymore because something's up, but I haven't done anything to anybody, so if anybody's saying anything out there, it's probably 99% crap. So I'm not so faint of heart that if somebody says, did you do this or are you doing that, that I'm like, yeah. So I don't care if I hurt somebody's feelings, because if somebody hurts your feelings, it ain't like you get polio from it or you're bleeding from it or nothing like that. It's personal. It's about you or your area or your genre or your people, or people can't help it how they feel and what they say. So, and I don't pay attention to all that. It's like I just try to make sure they got their facts straight. Yeah, BC.
Hey.
Hey, Eric. Yeah, the railroad tracks are going to start tearing people's cars up again too, BC. You notice that when we're headed towards 80, that one part of it's dropping down. Hell, at one time it got down where it was about an 8-inch drop between the tracks. Thanks, Joyful. Love you too. Hey, Puppet.
What's going on, man?
Same old, same old.
Yeah. I haven't been up much anywhere lately. I usually fall asleep before I can do much of anything.
I don't know if everybody out there has done it. BC Trucks, he lives across the street from me over here, and he's got a hell of a channel for he builds knives and handles and does miscellaneous stuff. You guys check him out. Hey, David. Yeah, that low boys, the trucks coming hammering through here. I imagine you hear it like me all the time, man, that like Jake break it. And I know it's only 40 out there, but I bet some of them are doing 70 when they pass my house.
Depending on the area and how straight the highway is, it wouldn't surprise me. Some of them drivers out there can't drive for crap.
Nope. And a lot of it, they do it on purpose. I guess they figure they're bigger, so what are you going to do about it?
I was going to say, we don't usually do fender benders.
There you guys, there's Alfred's or BC Trucks channel. Check him out.
But
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Eric.
Hey, brother. Hey, Carol Z, everyone in chat.
Hey,
Chuck,
Hello to the chat.
You sound like me, man. I've been on again, off again. You know, feel good one day, and then the next day, you're just kind of flat, and just blah. And then I don't know what the hell it is. I have no idea.
I got better, and then it's like nose stuff started, and then it hit where I couldn't taste anything. I've made a bunch of hamburgers on the grill last night. I could taste the tomato and sort of taste the Miracle Whip.
Sounds like Rona.
Yeah, it could have very well been, but it's
making the rounds, because that's the only thing I know that'll cause your taste to go away. Unless you get a super bad case of the flu or something.
Yeah, I've had flu before, and it's done it. We had everybody around here got sick.
Yeah, I got what you have, the post-nasal drip, and then the bad headaches, and the sinuses.
2019, when the first stuff started coming around, that branch of it, I had a migraine for 10 days straight.
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy.
I think, I didn't test, but I don't think I've got the coof, because I've been taking my little pills from India, and it would have, taken care of it by now. I just think I gotta, I don't know what it is, whether it's environmental or I don't know, but
more than likely strain of the flu, probably.
Vicky was feeling better, and then she's come in here today. I feel great, so she took a little dose of that Mucinex liquid over here, and next thing I went looked, she was in the front room, and I said, "What's the matter?" "I feel horrible." She goes, "About 20 minutes after I took that Mucinex, I feel like weird and kind of woozy, and like my blood pressure's up, and well, some of that stuff will raise your blood pressure." So.
Yeah.
One thing I'll recommend that I do when I get like the flu, which is I'm pretty fortunate. I hardly ever get sick. But when I do, it's usually not more than a few days, maybe a week if it's something really, really tough. I buy that generic Equate from Walmart. It's a nasal decongestant, but it works way better than like say the Mucinex.
What's it called? Equate?
Yeah, it's in a Walmart generic brand Equate. It's a nasal decongestant. It's like $5 for a box.
Yeah, it's probably think it's something it'll say on it's same as chemical compound in blah blah. Like it'll be
right.
Theraflu or Mucinex or.
Yeah, it's a generic equivalent to like Mucinex or whatever. Works for nasal, cold, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys get it over your phone, but I get like, what is it called, Newsbreak and something else and whatever will come over the phone, the cell phone, and it said this year, I think the last thing I got said 44 states were getting slammed with flu and just colds and not anything specific, just the whole spectrum of whatever can make you feel like shit. Well, it's coming or it's already here. So I guess it's going to be, they say, till December through February. That's flu season. So
yeah, I was going to say that's typical flu season. It's not anything out of the ordinary.
Right. I guess if you look at it that way, and then you put this horrible crap that's been going around for how many years, kind of ups the ante on, well, what do I have this time? Do I have this? Do I have this? Do I have that? It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, but as long as you're not taking the jab, you're good.
Yeah, no, I didn't take any of that. My brother took the Moderna, but I didn't. Whoops. I didn't.
Well, let's just say there's been a lot of anecdotal evidence of people just suddenly dying after taking the jab or a jab and a booster.
Right.
Yeah, I was just watching a video on talking about that. There's an hour-long movie on let's see what the name of it
was. You're talking about that documentary?
Yeah, on Telegram. It's what was the name of it?
Yeah, what's it called? Died suddenly or sudden death or something like that?
Sudden death, died suddenly or something like that.
I heard about that earlier. I was watching
they start shaking and they turn to the right and they look up on the wall and then just flop over and.
Yeah, like that kid, you remember in the gymnasium back in the year, just drops and all these people avoid him and flip their phones out. What's up, Milo? Hey, Ridge Runner.
I think Tin ran something like that on her Telegram channel. They played it. I forget. There's so many different little, I call them shorts, but our movies that show this and that. And,
But that's why I never took it. I'm like, nope, you can fire me or kill me. I don't care. I'm not taking it.
Yeah. Well, there's evidence too that 30% of anyone that 30% of all the pokes were a saline or a placebo. So
right. Yep.
I got a feeling that that's what my brother got because he walks like 5 miles every other day around the park with, his girlfriend, and he's never had anything, side effects from any of that crap. So,
yeah, there you go. She found it. Died suddenly. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna find the link and drop it so maybe at least people that got Telegram could find it.
That's what it
is. Sharing.
I was gonna say shift.
Shifty
can drop in the chat. But One thing I will add, freight refrigerated is still slow. Regular general freight is very slow. And I don't know, this whole railroad strike thing, I'm thinking the three unions that voted against it may still walk and strike anyway.
Yeah.
Regardless of what Congress did.
The railroad.
And if that go ahead.
Is that the railroad you're talking about going on strike?
The railroad strike.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure from what I've been hearing, it's going to happen anyway, regardless of what Congress just did.
Yeah.
It happens like that.
And good evening.
I'm hoping it does.
Hello, Bonnie.
I'm hoping it doesn't, but if it does, it's be bueno.
Yeah. Especially with
Yeah, I
all
mean,
these.
it'll. Go ahead, especially with what?
I was just gonna say, you know, everybody's waiting for the next drop of you know what. And the Twitter.
Oh, well,
they're not
yeah.
drops. They're dumps, I should say. And
Yeah, the dump of the wild nonsense or whatever. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm not
he
concerned with
dropped
that.
another one today.
I spent a week, 7 or 8 days driving truck. I'm not concerned about some Twitter dump.
No, I'm just saying it just all goes into the mix on, you know, what everyone thinks is going to happen. Or, you know, it just adds to the chaos.
Yeah, what's real and what isn't.
Right.
It's all distraction anyway, no matter what. So,
Meat Puppet, how will that affect you as a trucker if the railroad?
well, now, before the strike, just because of the economy, things have been playing because of packed up ships at the port from about a year or so ago. Right now, normally this time of year, we're running average 25, and this is from a Sunday to Saturday. We average normally 2,500 to 3,000 or 100 miles in a 7-day stretch. Right now, we're lucky if we get 2,000, maybe 500 if we can find enough random freight piece together. Just because of the backup from the ports in the economy slowing down, inflation, and just people shutting all their businesses down because they can't afford to run anything, and then you add on top of that shortages of certain chemicals and other things, and if the railroad strike goes through, expect that to increase by about 30% probably.
Oh wow!
Of not having stuff.
So, is it essential stuff, or is it?
Well, it's everything that rail could be anything. Could be anything from coal, could be to make diesel exhaust fluid or diesel fuel. Could be stuff to help make. To make food. There's a lot of stuff that gets hauled by the railroad.
Yeah, they carry a little bit of everything, and
Are you still seeing the trains coming by you, Chuck?
yeah, I ain't hearing them as much, but they my son said that he used to work tugboats up and down the Mississippi, and he said a lot of that's cut down too.
Well, in certain places, parts of the Mississippi are completely dry in certain places.
Yeah, not enough water to float the boat.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm thinking that's because they're trying to divert water from Mississippi out towards and Lake Mead so that they can still run power. Because they were talking about digging up pipes or tunnels or some random shit to run it out that way so they could have extra water diverted to try to refill the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ed, you might want to reset your audio in that. Sorry about that.
You're good. I'm just trying to keep everything somewhat organized so we don't step all over each other. But yeah, it's not looking good, and I get the distinct impression that over the winter things might just get worse.
Yeah, why they'll take advantage of a tragedy with a quickness.
Yep.
Oh yeah, of course. Look at the election. You got a bunch of we'll say even though we know they committed, but a bunch of alleged fraud. They verified the fraud last election. They turned what should have been according to most polling, 80% of the country voting against the one party for the other guys. And then somehow they still just got a narrow margin instead of the tsunami.
Yeah.
Couldn't be because they cheated or harvested ballots or anything. No, it couldn't be that.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that.
No. And it's just, I'm sure, a pure coincidence that Florida didn't have hardly because he stopped ballot harvesting. But that's just a coincidence, I'm sure.
You would think the majority of the public would want it to be fair, because if they can do it to one side, they can do it to everybody. So,
right. Am I actually echoing or no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Since
Off
you,
and off.
you got a lot of double speak.
you rubber
You know?
band a lot.
Yeah.
Just every so often. Yeah.
Okay, well, as long as it's not too bad. Otherwise, I'll come down and come back in. Because initially, my microphone was what I had to enable. For whatever reason, it was muted and enabled.
Yeah, you're
in my
still
browser.
echoing.
All right, give me a second. I'll hop down and hop back in now that I enabled the mic, and we'll see if that fixes it.
All right.
Yeah, Ed had trouble last night trying to get him in. We couldn't hear him.
Huh.
Something with his settings on YouTube.
Who was that?
Ed, Tim brought him up on panel, and we were trying to, get him to turn this off or that off, but he's got some gremlins in his YouTube, and he's got audio problems.
Oh wow!
Looks like he's still got them.
He said he thought it was StreamYard, but
Yeah, he said he's
Could
going to
be.
come up. I don't get it.
yeah, I haven't caught 10 on it in a while. I was telling Bonnie that I haven't even seen her go live, which I kind of
Yeah, her and Agent Jay have been trying to go like an hour early, but a couple times they did, but
All right, is that better?
so
Yeah.
far,
so far, yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully that'll take care of it.
no, your sound's clearer.
Yeah,
I
it must
think
have
you
been
did.
some issue. Because when I first come in, like I said, my mic and camera were muted for whatever reason from the last time I was on the stream, and it was just acting funny, I guess.
All right.
Hi, Carol.
So.
So, Meat Puppet, you mentioned the diversion of the water. Well,
Oh yeah,
I-
for
I
Lake
tend-
Mead, there.
I-
Yeah.
yeah, I tend to agree because where's it all going? It's got to be going somewhere.
Yeah, they were talking about doing that. That and Cali.
Yeah. Well, what bothers me though is why we've got 3 coastlines. Why in the earth are we not running desalination plants all up and down all 3 coasts
Yep.
to make
I've been
extra
saying that
water
for
for all the
years.
trees?
We've had that technology for years. It's right.
Really good versions of that tech. It wouldn't be hard to say, hey, can you help us out with setting these plants up?
Shouldn't be hard. It's even as simple as boiling it and pulling off the steam.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say, Ed?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Nope, we totally can't hear every word you're saying.
All right, I messed with I took, somebody gave some good advice. I messed with the settings on it.
in StreamYard.
Yeah, it was set up for, I guess it did a default setup, and it went for speakers I don't have.
That's how I do it a lot of times. Remember when I say I make the channel mute when I'm talking on the phone? I'll just go in there and change the settings. It's some oddball stuff, but sometimes it wants to lock out my actual settings, and I have to hunt around to find it.
See, I tried to get up on Slow Country, same thing. I got on 10s, and I could see your all's, you were talking, so I didn't want to talk over you. So I thought, well, I'll just type in the chat. Well, this is ridiculous.
We were trying to give you advice, but I don't think you could hear us.
I couldn't hear nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, this is ridiculous.
I've had just about every issue you can have with StreamYard and had to figure my way through it. It used to be everybody asked me about it, but
now,
now
I
they got.
wanted to share something because Ron DeSantis is showing up on the arrested list with all the rest of them.
He is?
Really?
So is they arrested Greta Thunberg. They arrested her too.
Yeah. Hell, I thought she was a citizen of what the hell's the name of that country over there that's not Switzerland.
You don't hear anything
No idea.
about. You don't hear anything anymore about Klaus Schwab's heart attack. So did he die? Is he doing better?
No, wasn't he in New York City the other day?
Maybe he got hammered too.
So where did you hear this? Everybody got allegedly arrested list.
It's on Situation Update on Rumble.
Hard to believe, but that's just because I'm.
Not so much that shit for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's no longer months, and now it's years. So.
Everybody says that Real Raw News is satire, but you can't quote a commander or a general and put it out on the internet because they're going to come after your ass if it's not true.
Yes. Well.
So they are doing actual quotes to people.
But don't they have a printed disclaimer right on their site that says that this is satire? Doesn't that kind of cover the butt?
At the bottom, yeah, they do.
Right. So that might be legally might be covering their asses for, saying what they say. I don't know, just the theory.
You know the way they are, they'll flip flop things. I mean, they're putting people in jail for an insurrection that didn't happen.
Right.
So.
Yeah. You still got Jackass who's out there in the middle of the roads, the 5th and the 6th. Go over here. You guys do this. I forget his damn name. That
the Fed.
Yeah, that tall older guy.
I know who you talked about.
He's the one that stirred him up at the gate that got that woman cop hurt.
Well, supposedly they arrested Nancy Pelosi after their big party, and
I doubt it.
Her driver wrecked her brand new. She had a brand new Mercedes.
Yeah, I did a pit maneuver on it on the middle of the interstate. They were trying to get away. They're all at Tyler Perry's White House, and I guess as they were leaving, they had undercover vehicles following certain ones and nabbing them supposedly.
They should have took her to a hospital. It killed the driver. The driver hit the windshield. Evidently, they had to wreck the car to get him to pull over.
I haven't heard any of this stuff.
You're not going to. You're not going to.
Did they find it?
Nancy blew a .47. That's dead. That's almost dead.
That's damn near it, yeah.
That's 5.
The only thing I'll say about it, I hope it's true, but the massive level of corruption in this country, I highly it.
But she was so drunk, she didn't realize she was being arrested. She was telling the cops, "Just clean this mess up for me, all right?"
Keep asking the cops, is their name Stanley or East Wing?
She was like, "Make this all go away." This didn't happen.
Well, I've seen her stoned standing at the podium before.
I don't know. That link went through as a link.
Wow. You got to click on both of them?
Yeah, I was trying to give them that link to that Rumble stuff. I'd as soon say Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny's having an affair to talk about it. I don't believe it, but they've got me so gun shy from all their bullshit that I don't believe a whole lot of anything. Here's a smaller version of it. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, hey, let me...
I listen to media sites, Underground News or Morfruga News or the Next News Network. You know, or Greg Humble, the U.S. dog, and I think we're down YouTube, but that's about it. I don't trust any of the main media sources.
Mm-mm. Hey, Chuck, I got to mute. I got to step away for a minute, but I'll be back.
All right, bud. Hey, Cindy.
Cindy, Rich Runner.
Chuck, I've got it. I've got it right here. It's just a quick. Hang on. I'll share it if you want to share it. It's about 5 minutes long. It doesn't even really have sound to it.
Is that the BitChute one?
It just shows everybody that's been arrested, and it's actually not even all of them. More people have been arrested than it's showing, but they're showing ones that have been arrested and ones that have been executed. But they clearly got Ron DeSantis's face on there.
Yeah, drop it in the chat. You got a thing wrench still, don't you?
You can share it because I'll just start it as soon as you pull it up. I'll start it.
Or you got a wrench now too. I had thought you had one, but maybe you weren't around when I made this channel, so I don't know.
No, I don't think I had one on this channel. Can you see it, Chuck?
Yeah.
All right. Let me start it. You want volume with it? Nah, hang on. You don't really need volume with it. Hang on, let me do something else here. Is it big enough?
You can make it bigger, hit the full screen. I don't know if this might be, no, that ain't the same one I did. It might be part of what I played, but.
Did that do it?
Yeah. Hey, G.
Some of these people I don't even know.
What'd they get Bernie for? Abandoning his people? I laugh at that because not only did he did it once, he did it twice. That'd be like You fools voted for the same person the same time they gave up or left.
They gave him a mansion to just keep his mouth shut.
He had a new car, remember that?
Yeah.
Beforehand, he drove like an old Hyundai or something. All of a sudden, he become a club member with money. Become a millionaire if you like potatoes.
They say it took 2 minutes for Hillary to die when they hung her. She sat there with whatever she was cussing Trump until she ran out of air. She kicked and fussed and took her 2 minutes to die.
Yeah, I heard when they were walking her up. I don't know which one of the times they killed her, but she's like, "You don't know who you're fucking with."
Yeah, and Lindsey Graham wasn't on the ballot this year. They say he got arrested and he's not on the ballot. You don't see him.
What did they get Paul Pelosi for hammer abuse?
I'd have to scroll back. There's Ron DeSantis right there. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can catch that.
Treason, misprision of treason. That's for knowing about stuff and not doing nothing.
It's all the same thing that everybody else is pretty much getting.
Yeah, supporting genocide.
You see how thin his face looks? And the one that you see on TV, he's got a fatter face.
Yeah.
And that would explain why he's doing so much good for Florida, because it's not the real one.
Peter Scolari, you knew who that is, huh? He's that actor that played in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and all that.
He got arrested too?
Yeah, showed him on there right before you got to DeSantis. To prove that, they ought to have a video scrapbook of all of them kicking and flailing.
They hung Hillary's husband too. They weren't going to at first, and then they found out he was just as deeply involved as the rest of them.
You talking about Bill?
Chelsea,
Oh.
Her husband. That's her husband.
There's Scolari, executed by something. It said they. One could only hope. Be a lot cheaper on them if they hired that guy that was on No Country for Old Men or whatever, the one that walked around that cattle popper. They don't need to hang them or lethal. Just walk and go.
Alright. That's it.
I know
That's
it's
what
sad.
I pray that that's true.
I'll tell you, every time you see something like that, you don't really see the people as much as you used to anymore. Remember, they were always in the Capitol building on TV every day? You don't see that anymore. And the Capitol building, it seems to have turned into a Secret Service parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that.
But when mainstream media puts out a story and they're at the Capitol building on the steps and the camera pans around, you don't see any Secret Service videos in there. Or you don't see any vehicles, any black vehicles.
Yeah, and I haven't seen the Marine Guard there either in a while.
I never did see Joe in those. Did I miss it? Or Hunter?
I think Hunter was on there. The last picture of Hunter, I mean, you've all seen it. He doesn't have any teeth. He's got the drug addict teeth or whatever they.
Yeah, look like you've been eating Dominoes.
Well, that's from snorting crank all his life.
Yeah, crank or what's that other stuff?
Meth and
Yeah, meth.
Cocaine.
Like meth teeth.
them pills that they're bringing across the border. That stuff there is supposed to do the same kind of shit.
Fentanyl, yeah.
Did you see where that 10-month-old got a hold of some at a park in California? A high-end park. His nanny, 10-month-old twin brothers, the nanny took him to the park and he just started acting funny. He called the father and then she called him back and said, he's turning blue. I'm calling 911. Fire department got there. Luckily, they were able to save him with the drug that counteracts opioids.
Yeah, Narcan stuff.
Yes. But it was a close one.
Them vehicles burned up in Massachusetts during Thanksgiving. That dinner he went to, the Band of Thieves or whatever restaurant. Did they burn up at the rental place or did they burn up in the parking lot of the restaurant?
Somebody put in there that hurts.
Yeah.
Carol put it on there.
You know, I could see one of them. I could see one of them burning up.
First of all, the Secret Service doesn't rent cars. They've got their own fleet. And they would have been flown there ahead of time. And checked and rechecked. So I don't buy that excuse or story. And engine blocks don't melt from thermite. No, just the front of the car, not the rest of the car. So that was a DEW in my opinion.
Yeah, dew will kill everything around it that's organic or melt and destroy everything that's inorganic. It'll take a cast iron, aluminum, no matter what it is. I think it even gets hot enough to melt titanium.
But they can control it in a controlled beam.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of that stuff in California, you notice you'd see houses burned down and never touched the grass and the trees around them, or everything around it was living is dead, and the houses and buildings and vehicles are still sitting there.
Yep. Well, if you do a dive on that, there's supposedly was a small group of people that aren't from here that were living in that neighborhood. I don't know if they call them Caladians or whatever. It's just I don't know if you want to call it a theory, but just something somebody put out there, and because they still haven't figured out what happened. That investigation went nowhere.
The other thing with them fires in California is the fires don't burn up a porcelain toilet. All the toilets are melted. They're just whatever color the toilet was on the concrete.
Been living there for 2,500 years.
Here, I got some I'll show y'all. I'll put it up. Let's see. My son sent me this. My middle son, and he's normally not into none of this, but this be right up your alley, Ed.
These people inside the Hall of Earth.
Let me get it backed up. Pull it up. Share. Let me know if it echoes. Trying to see if I can make it big, which I don't see a way to do.
These people inside the Hall of Earth have been living there for 2,500 years. There is one continent inside the Earth and one ocean. The capital city is built around the original lost vegetation grows like a paradise. The people live to be up to 800 years old. They communicate with telepathy. The inner Earth people have built these androids that fly their flying saucers out to reconnoiter the outer Earth. Our government has been knocking flying saucers out of the sky and back engineering these flying saucers. The people that live in the Hall of Earth are not extraterrestrials. They're from the lost tribes of Israel. These people inside the Hall of Earth have been
25,000 years as postman. He said 20.
For 2,500 years.
And that goes back to that Navy admiral talking about that place he found.
Oh, you mean at the pole?
Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that we're never going to know about.
What was that about you just showed? It was echoing so bad I couldn't understand it.
Oh, here's the link.
You could play it again. I think someone on panel had their mic on.
Yeah, let me mute. Let's see.
I'm gonna mute.
These people inside the Hall of Earth.
Let me know if it echoes.
people inside the Hollow Earth been living there for 2,500 years. There is one continent inside the Earth and one ocean. Their capital city is built around the original lost Garden of Eden. The vegetation grows like a paradise. The people live to be up to 800 years old. They communicate with telepathy. The inner Earth people have built these androids that fly their flying saucers out to reconnoiter the outer Earth. Our government has been knocking flying saucers out of the sky and back engineering these flying saucers. The people that live in the Hollow Earth are not extraterrestrials. They're from the lost tribes of Israel. These people inside the Hollow Earth have been living there for 2,500 years.
The write-up said 25,000. I don't know how you come up with 2,500, but 25.
That sounded good. That sounds
Probable and possible. I don't doubt anything, but anything could be possible. Probable, who knows? If they knew how bad shit was, it could have been they isolated the stuff. But also that could be where, like the Tree of Life and other things like that, come up missing too. So yeah, Carol, I guess he's doing all right. He's with this going on too. Been sick with the flu on top of it. Black, watch that mean you getting all that ice cream. You're Pelosi shopping, huh? Did you put it in your $25,000 fridge? Or freezer, or whatever what she called it.
It got up to 76 degrees here today.
It was at what?
76 degrees.
It was in the 70s over here, and earlier I checked. I said it's getting cold out, which sounded stupid because it's like right now it says it's 57 out there. So
64 here.
$6 o'clock this morning, it looked like there was bad fire somewhere. You know how the smoke will drop to the ground? It was so foggy, it looked like smoke.
Going up, Bitcoin.
Someone asked me if I thought they dumped something on us, Chuck.
I wouldn't doubt it. There's a lot of people
weird.
say they're sick all over.
Yeah. Same thing. All the way across. Kind of suspicious.
Then somebody go, well, one of the times we're talking about getting this, want to know if we had the pokey, and it was him, and then like they got a combo now where it's got both common flu and flu shot and the other in it. I'm like, it doesn't make it sound better. It's like saying if you eat this bird, if you hold your nose, you won't smell it or taste it.
I wouldn't trust any shot that's specified
No.
for any particular thing.
Makes me wonder about all the ones we got since we were kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
They said there didn't used to be all these problems there was until after that. The polio stuff started because they wanted a system start.
What was that shot that kind of like left a little circle on your arm for years? Was that for tuberculosis?
Smallpox.
What was that, Bonnie?
Smallpox.
smallpox?
Yeah.
Some
Because
some people it started and some it didn't.
yeah. I remember asking the doctor when my kids started getting them about it, and she said because there hadn't been a case in the United States in so many years, they quit giving it.
No.
Well, now cases are starting to show up again because of what's coming across the border.
Yeah. That I agree with 100%.
A lot of
I had that vaccination scar for the longest time, but it went away.
Yeah. My brother had it. I didn't get scarred, but
Yeah, 'cause they were using that forced air ones, and a lot of times they weren't adjusted right, and that's what it would leave when it forced it in by air.
I think that's back when they didn't know about AIDS. They didn't use the same needle.
That was way before AIDS. That was back in the 70s when I got that in the early 70s.
I could not think about it. I mean, how could it change the needle that quick? Because they lined us up all the way down the hallway, and you just rolled your sleeve up and walked down the hallway.
Yeah.
It was that air gun thing. It didn't have a needle to it. It forced air, made it go under the skin.
Oh, is that how they did it? Okay, no needle.
That's why it left everybody, a lot of people with that mark.
Around the car, yeah.
Because if it didn't hit just right or something, or they say it could have hit a hair follicle and cause it to veer off, or they didn't have it adjusted right, or.
Sorry.
So they tried to kill us back then, huh?
Yeah. And then then AIDS was that pandemic of the 80s, or plandemic should call it. Then their cure was the same thing we're dealing with now is the pokey sleever. Their cure.
Mr. GATE.
Yep.
S was the inventor of that.
That Mr. Fucky.
Well, I don't pay attention to news. I didn't know they had a bunch of pandemics until 2019. Wow, all that crap was going on. When Obama made president, I turned the TV off. I'm done.
Yeah. Hell, as far back as, what was it, 1917.
Yeah. A lot of people say that was planned too.
Yep.
It was planned. They got a picture of everybody in the street wearing a mask except for the Rothschilds and Rockefellers standing there with their fancy hats and their suits on. They said, see, nothing's changed.
No.
They knew. They knew you didn't have to wear a mask. It's all a control thing.
Yep. It's got to do with slaves and slaves being mouth covered and all that. It's a demeaning thing.
It's about power.
I don't have any Reese's Black Watch. Makes me want to run out and get a big bag of candy bars, though.
Black Watch, what's he looking for? He's looking for candy?
Well, all you have to do is look up what they did in Africa, in India, and
All them little girls are sterile and crippled over there from here recently. Those are the lucky ones that didn't die.
yeah.
That was thanks to the Happy Windows couple.
Here's my old phone number. Everybody call it. Let's see who got it.
Ed said to call you for a good time.
We'll all call at the same time, right?
Oh, that can make it a little bit better for you, huh? Okay, that's me.
You're just passing it out.
Dial away. Tell me who got it. S for Ed.
See, I got this number from my neighbor. He said, "You'll mow my yard naked."
No, with a real deep voice. Ed sent me.
Ed said, "You got a pretty mouth."
Your neighbors start talking like I got time to move.
Not funny, Echo.
Yeah, this number was on a bathroom stall in a truck stop. Said, "For a good time, call this number."
Things like that really do happen. Just saying.
Bonnie, don't be calling numbers you find on bathroom walls.
Oh, come on.
Might be midget jugglers or something.
How about that Jim Carrey movie where he goes into the stall and he reads the wall and it says "Be here at midnight." And he looks at his watch and it's midnight.
You talk much to Rabbit lately?
No, I haven't heard from him.
Me either. Still hadn't heard anything out of that friend of mine and his over here. I tried to call a few times, and I got an issue with my phone anymore. When most people I try to call out on, it'll ring once, and then it tells me all circuits are busy, and then it gives me some weird number.
I send him a smirky message every so often. Like, yep, we're still alive, just so you know.
Hear much out of George either, Ed?
Yeah, it was about a week ago.
Yeah, I talked to him 2 or 3 weeks ago before Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow. I didn't know they did that in foreign. Well, I guess Otar's foreign. I don't know where that is.
I can't remember. I had the damn thing went across the. Let's see.
Carol, that was North Texas, north of Dallas. Oh, that just made me cry. I was following that for days till they finally found her body.
That 7-year-old girl.
Yes.
That's the one saying supposedly she was arguing with her mom and left. Like,
Stepmother.
who in the hell lets a 7-year-old leave, and let alone argue with the parents? It's like,
Yeah. Well, and I think the address was on a county road. Of course, the grandmother lived next door. It all just sounded really fishy to me at first. I was really thinking the stepmother did something. But they arrested a FedEx driver.
wow, a FedEx driver picked a kid up.
Yep.
if it's beyond a shadow of a doubt, that piece of shit should never see court.
Mm-mm.
That's why all this stuff happens and keeps happening, because people that get life in prison get put in, and then all of a sudden, some reason they end up out or escaping or.
Yes. There was a man convicted of a malicious murder in our county, and he served 5 years and was out.
Well, Executive Order 13848, pedophilia carries the capital punishment now. So you're done.
Good.
Since we're at war, I think you go straight to Gitmo and you have a trial and you're executed that evening.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a grocery list for that person once they're it's set in stone. Yeah, there's no reconditioning you. You're not going to ever be back in public. Why are you existing?
Yep.
I watched a show earlier, one of them shows I watch, that murder porn stuff. It had this father on there. His daughter died or was killed, and he had 2 grandsons by her, and they figured out who it was, and it ended up being her ex-husband's mother, and the son, which was her ex-husband, ended up following this girl after she dropped the kids off. She had the kids in the car while the ex-husband was shooting at the woman going down the road. He finally ended in jail, and he went up testifying, gave his piece and stuff, and during court, and the judge, something has how it was brought up that he's ended up saying, he goes, they'll never be safe if you ever let them hit the street again. He said, as long as you finish it off and give them the death penalty or never let them out of jail, he goes, if you ever let them out, he goes, you'll be seeing me in here. He goes, because as sure as the day is long, he goes, I'm going to kill them within an hour of them getting out.
Did you see that video of that kid that the mother took his phone away to discipline him, and he came in while they were gone with a hammer and he tore up the whole house. He ripped the whole house.
I saw that. Busted mirrors and toilets and sinks. And
busted the toilets and water coming out of the toilets. He busted all their computers and TVs. Holes in the wall.
Yeah, he broke the damn marble top. I think they lived in the apartment too.
Breaking the cabinets up in the kitchen, busting up the sink.
That was his answer to being told no.
He wouldn't get a phone until he moved out of the house. What happened to me?
No, he'd never have
Never
one.
get a phone down.
Newsom let out 5,500 pedophiles in California.
Well, it is hunting season.
Yeah, it's just gonna say, oh God. You got to do a purge on those people.
Is that one of the words I'm not supposed to say?
What?
Sorry. Pedo.
Well, the FBI has already done a couple of screenshots since I've been on here.
He stands alone.
They're still trigger words, though.
It's true what I said.
With screw tube.
1348 and pedophile and war.
All right.
They
I
do it
just
this-
say Echo, Tango, Bravo, screw you.
Well, we have to worry about offending somebody, but you can't even talk. So it's like stupidest shit I've ever heard. And it's like,
And don't forget, Chuck, make sure you use proper pronouns. 'Cause, you know, don't want to get anyone upset.
You know, with them pronouns, if you got to
Oh, I
sue
know.
one of them and
Are
they
these-
go to them, does that make it a class action suit?
Here's some properness for them.
Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Thank you, Chuck. Oh, man. I probably play that twice a day.
Eric, I don't know if Debs is giving you a compliment or.
I'm on my phone. Let me get on the. Where is she? Eric sounds like a wizard I used to know. Really? Oh, I don't get involved with that Oz stuff. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know what it is.
Unless you mean the Grand Wizard.
Everybody remembering to take your BioTrust collagen? Oh, God.
Guy named Wizard in chats. I don't remember a guy named Wizard. Huh.
I think it sort of sounds familiar.
No. ER or Eric? That's been me for 58 years. So.
Z-Man lost his channel permanently. How did he end up losing it to begin with?
Both of them. Karma's a bitch, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. What, he lost both channels?
Yep. That's what I heard.
Somebody told me there's people going around out there, you piss them off on your show that they report you enough. There's a group of them that they get you kicked like that.
Yeah. That's why I say you got to watch trigger words, because they could be looking for something else and then hear something else. And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going to opportunistic, 18-year-olds sitting behind a desk.
Yeah, with their feelings on the Kleenex that they just got finished with.
Right?
Oh, Lordy.
Had your NC Debs, I don't have an accent. What are you talking about? You mean my Joyzy accent?
Well, I can figure maybe somebody didn't like somebody that they tolerated or something. Who knows? I'm not real sure.
No, I'm Jersey. I'm not New York.
That's a good idea.
Forget about it. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, Deanna just sent me a tweet that was supposedly done by the CNN, put on her former President Donald Trump has called for the termination of the Constitution to overturn the 2020 election to reinstate him to power.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
Why would he have to overturn the Constitution?
It's what I saw was certain erection laws he wanted dissolved, which would put him back where in my opinion, he should rightfully be. I don't think he said the whole Constitution, but you know, when one station runs with a story and then they all start running with it, you know, it changes. That's the, you know, the 6th time it gets put out or the 7th time it gets put out. So I don't know.
Yeah, if you're going to say Santa Claus showed up to it, he might as well be the Easter Bunny, and then Jason and Michael Myers and everybody might as well show up, huh? If you're going to make it bullshit, you might as well run with it. That's what they do a lot of. If they're like, okay, they believe this much, so let's add the rest of this to it.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab a paper towel, blow my, never mind, but.
So what you up to tonight, Bonnie?
Not much.
Not much.
Just trying to get over this crud.
Yeah.
My fever has gone down to 99 and holding. Wow. So hopefully it'll keep going down. My daughter's yelling at me because I didn't go to the doctor. I said, what are they going to do?
Right.
I'm not.
Just keep plenty of fluids in you. That's all.
Yeah.
You got to start watching the chemtrails and then know when not to go outside.
Well, that's just it. It's kind of odd. I hadn't been outside before this much. Well, I guess I had. I mean, that's when my mother was going through all her stuff. And yeah, I need to find some, Deb. Can't find any around here. I guess everybody's buying it as soon as it hits the shelf.
I was taking my vitamins, so I just want to turn my camera off. You don't need to see that.
Does something happen nasty while you're doing it or something?
No.
I know that yellow stuff you was drinking that one time. I forget what it was. It's just a look on your face and looked like you was trying to swallow a dirty sock.
That was a whole lemon squeezed with a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, turmeric, and ginger, and quinine water. And boy, does it taste nasty.
Oh, yeah, it does. I did that homemade brew where you use the rinds off of the 3 different lemons, limes, and something else. And it's nasty.
Now my arthritis is acting up, so I had to. I woke up the next morning and it was fine. Then he went away.
Thank you, Kim.
Hey, Bonnie, Shift left you a link.
Oh, was it Shift? Thank you, Shift.
Yeah. And shout out to my friend Deanna. Hello, Deanna.
Is she here?
No, she's listening.
Yeah, she did listen, and she sent me a message.
Yeah. She called me a few other things, but I can't disclose that.
She's being a brat hiding from us. Love you, Dee. I've missed so much all week. I'm like way behind.
Yeah, I try to think and look into it, but then I figure either there'll be more added to it or nothing will change. And if something happens in a week and not looking, maybe that's good. It's kind of like, remember when you were a kid and you're staring at that Christmas tree, looking at the gifts under it.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you stop it paying attention to that, Christmas, bang, it's there, and it's finally time to open it. Yeah, a lot of that stuff too, the arthritis and all that, it'll help too. It just, I've read some of the stuff just as far as just taking baking soda helps your kidneys, which it improves their functionality. Plus, it just helps clean a lot of the urea and stuff out of your system, which a lot of that stuff causes arthritis or agitates arthritis. Plus, it affects everything else. So.
That's true. I got a bunch of vegetarian capsules, pull apart capsules, and I don't know, it was Amazon or whatever, and I think they're 600 milligrams when you fill them. And I got the baking soda that says right on it, bicarbonate. You got to make sure it says bicarbonate on the bottom, and it basically detoxifies your blood. And these gelatin capsules, they don't dissolve in your stomach, they dissolve in your lower intestine, and that's where it gets absorbed, and it just detoxifies your whole body. And it does work, Chuck. You don't want to be on it forever, but maybe 1 week a month, and it's cheap.
Yeah.
Cheap remedy.
If I take any of those plastic or gel, anything, I instantly throw up. I don't know what it is. It just does not agree with me at all.
Magnesium is another thing that works good with your kidneys. Plus, it also, if you're having gastral issues, whether it's diarrhea, constipation, gassy, whatever, magnesium's part of that. It's part of a lot of things, deliverance of a lot of different vitamins.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking from what I read too. Yeah, Debs, I ain't done it in a while, but I'd take a pinch of that borax and put it in a bottle of water and shake it up and drink it through the day.
There's Deanna. Hello, Deanna.
It's good to break down the acidity of your system, get you closer to alkaline. A lot of that does that same thing. Baking soda does it.
I know I need D and magnesium.
They said our own kidneys are bicarbonate. It'll produce they produce like a half a pound if they're working right on their own. But
Oh, really?
that's what I read anyway.
Hey, it's Camo. What's up, Carl?
Hey, Keno. Hey, Carl.
What's up, Keno?
My doctor won't prescribe nothing.
Yeah, I should have went and got it because I've got regular arthritis and the other one, the bad one.
Rheumatoid.
Yeah, rheumatoid.
I've got that one.
It is horrible.
So
And
HCQ helps that?
Yep.
Well, I'll see what he says about that. But I asked him about the iron. Nope, not until you give us a sample and we see if you have bugs. I was like, no, you're not getting a sample.
I'd have been smart ass. I said, you want me to leave you a sample right there on your clipboard?
Right. I just pictured that. Dang.
Night shift.
Good night, Ship.
Good night, Shifty. She got a lot of snow up her way.
Yeah, it makes that deer hunting better.
Yep.
I need to get a hold of my son-in-law. If his stepdad and mom went, they got a bug out place that they're for the SHTF. It's a family thing that he owns, and it's like on 80 acres.
Nice.
Then he hunts from it too, and he goes down there to the inventory, and they got their animals on chickens and stuff there on feeders, and they go there every weekend. But they have a neighbor that checks on all it for them too. But he's been working on filling the freezers up of theirs, and said he's going to fill my son-in-law's up. And my son-in-law said when he starts filling his up, he's going to start filling mine up. And he said, I don't care what it is, who gets it. He goes, as long as I'm helping people.
Right.
Hell, I'll take a freezer full of deer meat. I wish I could go out there and hunt it.
You can also grind pork in with the venison if if you don't like the gamey
I love it. Everybody around here does. Like, I prefer cabbage rolls. Yep, cabbage rolls, lasagna, roast, any kind of hamburger.
When me and my pop used to hunt Jersey, first thing we take is the back strap on a whitetail. That's what we liked.
My buddy I grew up with, when we'd go hunting, and we'd hang the deer up. As soon as the hide come off, the back straps come off, and they were set in the house, and somebody was in there pounding them flat, rolling them in cracker meal, and frying them with onion.
Mm-hmm.
That was the inspiration to get everybody out there, because usually 5 or 6 people went, there was at least 2 or 3 deer. So
right,
everybody'd be out there, and that's the way everybody got to share the backstrap, is to help clean up and be there for the breakdown of it, because everything was cut off the bone, and then big kettles were boiled, like I guess old coon ass thing, but they kept boil all the bones for the dogs. And
wow, that's certainly, there's no waste there.
No.
That's what we do. Backstrap gets chicken fried with biscuits and gravy while they're processing. And then sausage making.
Yep, that goes on too. There'll be neck roast and different roast cut. Bonnie, you probably know what I'm talking about. Then everything else is cut up like stew meat or ground up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We'd be making sausage, and so before we start stuffing it, grab a big old glob of it and start making pan sausage, and then start stuffing it.
I remember he'd put us kids over there, one to load the grinder, and had a picnic table, had 4 of them on it, and there'd be 4 people grinding and 4 people feeding it in and making sure it doesn't come out of the bowl.
Wow.
I did the tying.
I guess back then it'd be the closest thing because a lot of it he would put into intestine and make sausage in them. Like you're talking about the tying, but he'd make a bunch of it that no seasoning and go in it. Maybe it may be salt and pepper, if that. But I guess that's kind of bratwurst like. To me, I didn't like it when they make breakfast sausage out of deer meat. To me, that ruins it.
Well, if it's seasoned right, it's really good.
Hey, Chuck, thanks for having me out. All right. I got to test out my.
Appreciate you coming, bud. Hey, Ben.
All right, I'll
So,
see
Ed,
y'all later.
You got your you figured out what's wrong now, right?
Yeah. If I can't hear you, it's kind of hard to.
I got you.
It's good to see you, man.
Right.
All right, we'll see y'all later.
All right.
Take it
care,
easy,
brother.
man. Yeah, Deb, a duck is awesome. Stuffed with crawfish and shrimp, rice dressing. Yeah, that's a good way to eat a duck. Basically a duck stuffed with boudin.
Hey, Benjamin.
Huh.
Do what?
I love deer meat. I was looking at what she put. Hates deer meat and duck. Hell, I like bear meat. I like ground hog. Wild hog's good. You just gotta keep it iced down for 4 or 5 days and keep draining the water off of it.
I don't know if I've ever had wild hog.
Me, it tastes. Once you do that, it's cleaner than store bought.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they say it smells, but it just depends on which ones. They all got a weird smell to it, but that's what the whole point of putting it in the cooler is. Keep it iced down and it just drain that blood off, and it comes out with the melted ice water off of it, and just every time you drain it down, fill it up with ice. Thank you, man. Hell, Vicky, her favorite way of doing lasagna or spaghetti or chili or any of it's with ground deer, ground venison. Is like, we used to keep it in the freezer and it'd be like, and we run out of deer meat and she'd be like, I'd be like, something tastes off with whatever it was she made. She goes, yeah, I'm using damn store bought hamburger. That's bad when your normal food tastes off. Huh?
Right. I got a store about 1.5 miles from me now. He's a butcher, and he's got elk, bison, mule deer, whitetail, antelope. What the hell else does he have?
Bison and elk ribeyes are good.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I prefer them than up to an Angus. Good night, Kim. Yeah, I'm not sure, Carol. I've had it too. The Chinese duck, I think, because they like deep fry it or something, and that duck fat instead of staying clumped, it because duck fat's awesome to use for things, but if it smothers into the meat, to me, I see what you're talking. I think it kind of ruins it. I like blackened duck, but hell, last ducks I had, a buddy of mine that worked, he's a taxidermist. In the duck season, a bunch of their friends would go out duck hunting and bring him all the ducks.
Nice.
And they're like, "You want some duck? Because we got plenty of duck here." And he goes, "I don't want to put no more in the freezer because deer season's coming up." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take some duck." And he brought it out. I ended up bringing it out, and he brought like 60 pounds of duck breasts and thighs.
Oh, man.
So I separated it all up, and the first thing I made out of it was crawfish and duck gumbo. It was awesome. And then his boss is like, "Well, since I got all that duck over here and I already got it froze, he overloaded his freezer." He goes, "Italian wanted to know." He goes, "You want some hamburger?" I'm like, "Hamburger?" He goes, "Yeah, deer hamburger." I was like, "Sure, I'll take it."
Yeah. And season it the right way, or don't.
Yeah, he had it in little 1 and 2 pound packs. I forget what it was. He brought out 30, 40 pounds of that. And that was just, I was like, this will be a lasagna. This will be stuffed peppers or the cabbage rolls. And this.
Well, with that amount of meat, you gotta be organized. You know which way, where it's going.
Yeah.
I had with a buddy down here, and the hog, wild hog. For some reason, the boar or the sow, they taste much better than the boar. They're just
the testosterone kind of makes the meat.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah.
It's sweeter.
Yeah, the females are. The males are. And I don't want to call it gamey because it ain't really gamey. It just tastes different. It's kind of like the difference between eating deer meat and say goat or something or lamb.
Right. Now that's good making in the sausage is the hog, the sow.
Yep. Buddy of mine, his dad had rescued salami and kibasi and other different stuff that he'd use either deer meat or pork with it. He's even made it with lamb and goat. They lived in Maryland and Cleveland and Kentucky and all that. They were from up there, so his dad was an old hunter, and then a lot of the stuff he made stuff and put it up that would last. But I sent him some deer meat over there. His dad died a few years back, but before he died, he wanted to know if I had any, and I'm like, sure. And he goes, "You send enough for both of us?" And he goes, "I'll make me and you both a loaf of deer salami, venison salami." And I'm like, hell yeah.
Right.
So me and him both ended up with, I think, a 3 or 4 pound salami each.
That's cool.
Another thing too that's gamey is I'm sorry, Bob.
It's okay, go ahead.
What's real gamey is ringneck pheasant. You gotta cook that just right, because we used to hunt up north. We'd hunt them,
I think you got to cook them with a lot of onion and stuff, don't you?
Say again?
Well, you got to cook them with a lot of onion in it.
Yeah, you need some acidity to kind of break down the gaminess. But and now a hen versus a cockbird, you can't tell the difference in what you're eating. So, in other words, you can't distinguish whether it's a male or a female. It's just gamey. But I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good until you bite into a a lead pellet, and then you gotta get rid of that. But
Yeah, Carol, every time I ever had alligator, I've had it fried. And to me, it was like fishy shrimp fried, but that was the only one time I had it that way. Every time there was an alligator sauce piquant, and that's a red sauce alligator, and they eat it with rice, kind of like an etouffee or gumbo, and that stuff's awesome. It didn't have a beef taste. To me, it had more of it was seafoody, but kind of like more like you got a hold of a piece of chicken that was in a seafood gumbo or something. Right. But it's still awesome.
Yeah, they got gator on the menu down here. It's got a chickeny taste to it.
Yeah, that chickeny fish.
Right.
Yeah, mahi. I like taking those and cooking them on a really hot grill and season up salt and pepper, a lot of coarse salt and pepper on it. Right before you're ready to pull it off the grill, I'll splash it with some Lee and Perrin Worcestershire sauce, and to me, it's almost like identical to a ribeye.
Yeah, they're good eating. My neighbor across the street, he's got a charter service down here. He texted me. He says, "You want some grouper?" And I'm like, "Of course." And but he must have gave me about 12 pounds grouper.
That's
like 2 days, like a day old. Oh God!
Yeah,
I got a little bit left. I'm gonna deep fry it tomorrow. Oh.
I watch a girl on there. She lives in Florida down there, and they have. She goes hunting iguanas, and her and her husband made some kind of. It was chow mein using iguana meat.
Right. Did they show them like going in and out of the neighborhoods within the
Yeah, she lived on
with the crossbow.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, they've been caught. They have become a very invasive species here, and people don't want them around. They get big enough, they start attacking cats and little grandma's little dog, and they want them out.
Trying to remember her name. I'm looking it up. The show I watch. I can't remember. She's a little blonde-headed lady, and her husband, and they're hunting in their backyard, neighbor's yard, and they even had an issue. I guess the neighbors were complaining about squirrels, and they got permission to kill the squirrels out too around there.
Yeah.
She's like, we're like the hillbillies of the neighborhood. Everybody comes and tells us they want to get rid of stuff.
Right. Kill that, and kill that. Okay. Oh, man.
I'm trying to see if I can find it. Normally it'd be sitting right there.
Yeah, I just type in the Screw Tubes search window, iguana hunting South Florida, and poof. One of them's bound to pop up.
Y'all eat the iguana?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Not everyone does, but they're just some people are making a living clearing.
Crawfish, alligator-y kind of turtle. It's somewhere in that area, the taste of it. That's not it. Let's see.
Done everything, Ridge Runner.
Dar Sizzle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She does a lot of fishing too.
Yep. Dar Sizzle offshore.
Jerry, you okay?
And Meat Puppet's quiet. He must have fell asleep.
Something.
Yeah, that's one thing, Debs, I won't eat is I don't like trout and I don't like salmon. Only salmon I ever had that I liked was some that my uncle brought back from Alaska that him and his Eskimo buddy caught, and their people smoked for him, and he brought it back. This stuff here, I'd never seen a store though, and it was awesome. I remember as a kid getting to eat it.
Yeah, salmon can be oily.
It looked like something that it was smoked looking. I remember it's still what it looked like as a kid, but it looked like something like a whole fish was just left in the sun on the bank, and when he got it open, started cutting it, he peeled the skin back on it. It was yummy once you got into that, but I thought salmon after that, all salmon would taste that way, and I was like, nope. Mom used to make them salmon patties, and I had to have brown beans with them. I drowned it and smothered them in the beans to maybe hope to do something with it. Dad said they were awesome. She did a good job, and a lot of people liked it. That's just one thing that now I would, if I had to, I would eat them. Right. But it's probably, I hate that more than I do beets.
Oh, wow.
I never really liked beets either.
I would eat beets before I'd eat salmon.
To me, beets are kind of gritty.
Yeah, they got that weird, sicky, bloody, whatever.
Some people say they taste like dirt. Well, I haven't eaten dirt in a while, so but yeah.
I can taste the dirt and potatoes, but maybe that's, I don't really like potatoes either, though, unless they're smothered. I'll eat them fried, but they got to have a lot of onions fried with them.
Onions and mushrooms for me.
Oh. Or a loaded baked potato.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That would be bacon, sour cream, chives.
Yeah, bacon or sour cream. I don't. But some people put ranch. I can't do that.
No.
If I can find some really good French onion dip, I like that. On it, I prefer that over the sour cream. But they got a barbecue.
You can buy French onion stuff in a packet, can't you, and mix it up.
Yeah, but it's not. It used to be a deli up in Ohio called Lawson's. They got good. Dollar stores now carry them. There's a Borden if you got Borden products around your stores. But I think Borden does the Dollar General's French onion dip because it tastes identical to it, and I like it.
I saw Nunya, Texas put up a thing. Canned foods. He had the cans covered with just the ingredients showing. He said, make sure when you're buying these canned foods, you're checking the ingredients. All kinds of chemicals and junk in them. Showed 2 cans, and they had pretty much the same ingredients. And one was a can of chunky soup, and the other one was a can of dog food.
Wow.
Like, oh, man.
Me, when I buy canned goods, I look at it, like, say it's a vegetable, it should say green beans and water. If it says anything else, and usually I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't even want them salted. Yeah, if you took the salt and the crap out of most stuff in the can, you wouldn't have very much in the can.
Right.
Yeah, beets are great for a lot of stuff, Echo. Beets are one of your power foods. Yeah, I like sardines, Ed. I can eat the hell out of them.
What are UTZ chips?
Utz potato chips. They got them at Brookshire's. They're pretty good. I like their honey barbecue ones. They're almost like Snyder's chips that they got up north, up in Ohio. And you had Snyder's too, Eric, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Huh?
I got them here too.
Vicky's favorite. As a kid growing up, her favorite treat was, I'll ask them want ice cream or candy bar or whatever. Vicky would want barbecue Snyder chips and a glass of chocolate milk.
There you go.
Oh. It's a company.
Yep. It's called Utz. Tasty Cakes is good too. They're better than a Hostess and Little Debbie, which Little Debbie don't take much to be better than them. But they do had this year come out with something called a cherry cordial cake. Them are awesome. It's kind of like a cherry whipped cream in between 2 chocolate little cakes. But they're dangerous. Vicky wanted them. I wanted her to pick me some more up. I'm like, no, because I won't leave them alone.
Right. I think overall food quality has gone down though on the mass produced stuff.
Yep.
Well, just even the chocolate this past Halloween didn't taste like chocolate, really, like it used to taste.
Yeah, the Milky Ways, I usually like them. I like them still. I got my fix off of it, but they put the caramel seemed runnier.
Mm-hmm.
The nougat part was less of it, and the chocolate on the outside was harder than normal, almost a waxy.
Yes. On a lot of the different candies, they're either messing with the ratio or they've changed their the recipe, or I don't know. I think, well, who was it? Was it Hershey's or Nestle's? They moved to Mexico. One of them pulled up shop.
I want to say it was Hershey. I know Nestle is a Spanish thing because you get a lot of your, you go in a grocery store and your ethnic aisle where they got the ethnic broke down foods, and Nestle, a lot of your Mexican stuff is Nestle. I don't know if it's always been that way or.
I don't know. You see that in your chat, Chuck?
Yeah. Echo caught it. That was weird. We must have said some key word that got their attention.
Yeah, pheasant.
Yeah.
Just talking about food. Good grief.
Well, heck, guys, it's been 2 hours. If y'all are ready to slide out, I'll go ahead and kill it.
Excuse me.
Everybody can move on to the next victim.
My next, well.
I don't know if anybody's going to be coming up.
My next victim is my pillow.
Yeah. I'm thinking about putting it on murder porn.
Ready to hit hay. I think Meekum's still running though. They had they have that 24-hour auction again. No, now it's hand-built hot rods. Oh well.
Yeah, I need to get caught at the name that does all that Mopar stuff.
Oh yeah, Graveyard Cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude's funny.
I like watching him, and then I never did like the guy out of Dallas that
Oh yeah.
The one with the ball. So he was arrogant as hell.
Oh God, I got his name right. Gas Monkey Garage. What the hell is his name?
I like that.
Richard Rollins.
Yeah, I like that. That little guy was his number 2 man. When he quit, I quit watching it.
Yeah.
I for a long time I was. You guys probably were too, and a lot of people on here. I was all involved with the Pawn Stars and all the stuff in Vegas, and
they're like traveling all over now on TV, going to different states.
Yeah, they killed an industry. A lot of this with all the cars and stuff. It made a lot of them stupidly priced. Everybody thinks they got a mint 57 Chevy in their backyard. It's almost dirt.
Right. I'll tell you the thing that would have been good to buy if you had to look into the future is the full-size trucks back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Because they're going sky high now. You know, they got to be in decent shape, but
yeah, your 70 and 80 square body Chevys and GMCs are crazy.
Yep.
And if you really, what I want a 67 C10 Chevy or GMC with a small window short bed, and I'm being told now that I have better chances of finding a 57 Chevy or 55, 56 or 57 on the Tri-5s, and probably find it cheaper.
Wow.
because now the first gen C10s
They're getting all bought up.
Yep, they're the new 57 Chevys. Well, I appreciate you guys for coming up.
Yeah. Good talking to you again, brother. And prayers to you and your family and your son, and
Appreciate it. And
hope
hell,
things,
you got my number, don't you?
yeah, and your email.
Call anytime. I'm always up. I know you said your sleep patterns are weird. Mine still are, but
Yeah, I'm some nights are good, some nights are whatever. It all depends.
dealing with sick parents and kids and pets.
Yeah.
And it keeps you going.
My little dog, she passed, so it's a little easier now, but it's one less thing to do, but it's
Yeah, I'm watching them like that. It's almost like watching them slowly get tortured, sort of, ain't it?
Yeah. Yeah, her last night she was walking in circles, and I just said, no, you're not going to do that. So she basically slept on my chest the whole night in a recliner. And then in the morning, I just really boosted her up on her pills that make her sleep, and that way when she went to the vet for her final trip,
she didn't realize what
she was sound asleep because I doped her up. I didn't want her to get into a panic mode going in, because they know what's going on that day.
They can sense it off of you.
Yep. So, but anyway, well, good talking to you, Chuck. Miss Bonnie, good talking to you and chat. And maybe we'll see everybody tomorrow.
Good talking to you, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks, everybody, for the show.
I'll be around. All right. God bless, guys. Take care.
Bye. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. Much love, and y'all have a great night.